Good evening to you. Good afternoon, rather. Sorry, it's a bit. I came in late a little bit because I was trying to do some kind of homework in the house. Performing my usual responsibility in the house. That's why it took me ages to be able to come out to the public. The program is for everyone, regardless of your language, regardless of your nationality, tribe, sex, gender, height. We are live in the United Kingdom on how to regularize your status. My name has not changed. Chukumbo Olagbaye, 26th of October 2019. I welcome you on board, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm looking at the effect of Brexit on the immigrants in the United Kingdom. It has been so hugely debating in the parliaments everywhere with regards to, with regards to the issue of Brexit and what is likely to happen after we exit, if at all we are going to. I'm not going to look at the political debate because I am not a politician, and so I do not intend to become one for now. As a lawyer, I am looking at the legal aspect, the effect. So I'm looking at the legal issues that we need to take care of, the tidying up that we need to do before we come out completely. That is what I am looking at. If you are one of us in the United Kingdom and you have been living here for quite a while, I am looking closely from the policy and the guidance of the Home Office itself. So it's not coming from my head alone, Thank you. Who can apply? And when is your deadline? When is your deadline to apply? A lot of people don't have a deadline because they think that they are untouchable. First, let me deal with the phone calls that I have been receiving lately with regards to people asking questions about being a parent of a British child. They can apply for indefinite leave to remain. You can only do so if you have applied for derivative right of residence previously to confirm your status in the United Kingdom under European law, because you have already used the European legislation to make application under derivative. And if you are successfully granted and you have lived and worked continuously in the United Kingdom, the rules are clear. They're not dodgy. They're real. You will use that. But the WhatsApp that you are sending around, it is not real. When you guys are reading laws, you need to have somebody who has, control of law to interpret it to the layman's level. And who are the layman? You medical doctor, you are a layman in law. You nurses, you are a layman. You scientists, you are a layman in law. You teachers, you are a layman. Any of you, you are a layman. As long as you are not studying law and you are not working within the law parastatals, you are a layman if you are not a legal practitioner. So as such, you need to allow somebody who have that control of that law to interpret it to suit your need. If you don't get interpretation of law, don't just rush yourself into it, because you are going to get hit. And when you eat, you will be hit badly. They will hit you. And what I mean by hit is that your money will go into the drain because you will be making wrong application and you will expose yourself to the authority. So what is likely to happen in the event that we exit the membership? The government is saying that if you're an EU, EA or Swiss citizen, you and your family can apply to settle in the United Kingdom under the EU settlement scheme. And this has to be done, You have to show that you are in the UK, continuously living in the UK after 30 June 2021 if you want to apply. If you don't want to continue to live in the UK, you don't have to apply. It's not compulsory. It is not a requirement that it is a month, But the deadline for applying is 30th of June 2021. So for you to be successful in that category, you really need to demonstrate that you are in the UK and you are already living and paying your taxes to make that application. Two ways of getting it, either pre-settled or a settlement scheme. Now, many of my clients that are successfully get their 5 years residence card, you got it wrong. Don't greet me anything. You got it wrong. Anyway, any of clients that have successfully applied and got it wrong, you know, that successfully apply and granted residence card, then they can make that application without any problem. It is not a problem. You can successfully put in that application. You understand? You can successfully put in that application straight away. You know, in the meantime, there are rules and requirements. You know, there are rules and requirements that you have to go through. And if you don't first look at that rules and requirements, then you will not be able to successfully make that application under the current situation. You know, you will not be able to make that application under the current situation. So what is the situation on board? You know, what is the situation that we are looking at? The situation we are looking at is, if you have been paying your taxes and you are not up to 5 years in the UK, don't worry yourself. Don't give yourself any headache. It's not worth giving a headache. Just apply for a pre-settled status. As long as you can confirm that you are in the UK before the exit, you'll be okay. The most important thing they are looking for from your end is to confirm that you are in the United Kingdom before we exit. If you cannot confirm that you are in the UK before we exit, your application is not going to succeed. You understand? Your application is not going to succeed. So let's get that right. Your application is not going to succeed. So for your application to be successful, then you have to look at so many things. You know, you must be able to demonstrate in the United Kingdom that you are working and you are paying your taxes regularly. That you'll be able to make use of your P60 or your employment record. Now, to make use of your P60 and employment record, that reminds me the predicament we encounter. It reminds me the predicament we encountered in, in court last week. When you are obtaining documentation from the HM Revenue and Customs, the Home Office is not happy anymore, especially when it comes to the issue of retained right of residence, and you are taking employment history of your former spouse, you know, taking application of your former spouse, details of your former spouse from HM Revenue. They're not happy about it. They're really not happy. So you need to be wary of that. They're really not happy at all. You know, they're really not happy at all. They're really not happy. So you need to overlook so many things when it comes to making an application for pre-settled or pre-settled status, or, you know, or settlement status. A lot of people successfully are getting it because the effect of it on the migrants is going to be huge. And that is why, according to the Channel 4 program about last week or so, there is more likely that there's going to be grant of status to non-European national in the UK. There is likely to be grant of status to non-European national living in the United Kingdom. And who are the non-European national? Non-European nationals are like Nigerians, Ghana, Gambia, Jamaica, Philippines, India, Pakistan, that are not from France, not from Germany, not from Holland, not from not from countries like that, Slovenia, that are European Union. The reason why government is going to grant it, which I cannot speak for them at the moment, but I have a strong feelings. It has not happened and it's not started. Don't put yourself on the line. Don't put yourself on the line. When people are telling me that, oh, can I do this thing? When people tell you that you should do it, ask for evidence of anyone that has done it successfully. Don't just follow people because they are battalions. They are going in the same direction. Show them that you are intelligent. Show them that you belong to Lawyer Tokunbo Olagbaye platform. Show them that you are reading me all the time. You are watching me like mirror. You are following me on bumper to bumper. Let us show difference to those who doesn't listen. Don't put in an application that is not worth putting in, because at the end of the day, it will cost you. And that's what you need to be wary of. It will cost you, not only that it will cost you money, it will also expose you to the authority. And when it exposes you to the authority, you are going to be signing on in the cold weather, possibly every week. And you can see the difficulties that people go through or people encounter when they are going there to go and sign on. It is not a very good place. So you need to let us pass this information. Don't put in an application when there is nothing coming from the government. Because you're just going to expose yourself and put yourself in a difficult situation. Do not put in an application when there is nothing coming from the government. The Brexit issue, you will be able to make application if you have applied previously under derivative and you were granted successfully. You can make use of that opportunity. That is not a problem at all. That you can make use of it. It is well with you, Jackson. You understand? Don't put in an application now. Hang in there if you have not reached any of the requirements. That is why I always say to people, take advice. Unnecessarily. Because it will cost you. You understand? It will cost you. So you need to be wary of that. Now, people send me email, send me email, they send me, it is well. They send me email, they send me chats, they send me a lot of things asking me to respond. I have said, like I said last time, it is so impossible for me to respond to every email receiving. It's so impossible to respond to every email because there's no way I can respond. I try my best to respond to the little I can do, especially on WhatsApp. WhatsApp is very good to respond to when I'm less busy. In the evening at home when I'm relaxing, I can just lie down on the bed and start responding to people one by one. But I cannot respond to 1,000 people, 500, 100 people. I cannot. I can only respond to the first 10 people or first 15, 20, mostly. The rest of you need to book appointment and come and get the facts to your case. Get the correct law applicable to your situation. Now, derivative will be able to apply if you have continuously been renewed. Continuously, no, it's not even as a matter of continuously. If you were granted your 5 years under your child that hold British passport, because when they are giving you the information, they're not giving it to you clearly. When you look at the website where it comes from the government department, the government made it clear and confirm that you have to be a parent of a British child that has applied for derivative right of residence in the United Kingdom. There you go. Then you will be able to apply if you have stayed 5 years continuously. And you have to work. If you have derivative residence card, right, and you don't work, you are not going to be able to go well. You are not going to succeed. So you need to come from that angle and understand what the government is asking you to do. If you don't put the right thing in place, then it's going to affect you. And I think it's better to follow the procedure. Before you do so, I will be suggesting that you take consultation. You see, those WhatsApp that you are sending around, some of them are scamming. They are not real. They are just looking for a way to make quick money on you guys that are gullible. So please, don't fall foul. Don't fall into that scam. Don't fall into that headache. Because it can be very trivial. And it will cost you. Trust me. It will cost you if you fall into that trap. So what do I mean? Now, at the moment now, we are not sure about the deal because at the moment, we don't have anything tangible to stand on. Thank you. And that is why we have the delay. Now, they want to approve the delay because the delay is necessary so that we can look at it whether we are going to have a kind of deal. As we speak, we don't have any. As we speak, we don't have any. So when you are coming into the situation of applying to the EU settlement scheme, it's either you are settled or you have a pre-settled scheme. But you must be able to apply before the deadline, 30th of June, 2021. 30th of June, 2021 is the deadline. So if you are in the UK, you will need to be living in the UK before it leaves the EU to apply. Yes. So you have to be in the UK and apply before we exit. The deadline for applying, if the UK leaves the EU without a deal, if the UK leave the EU without a deal, your deadline is 31st of December 2020 to apply, which is next year. If we leave UK and Europe without a deal, your deadline is 31st of December 2020. I hope it's making sense here. Yes. But if we are coming out, without a deal, then we are stuck. We're going to be 2021. But if we leave, yes, if the UK leaves the EU without a deal, that means at the moment we don't have a concrete deal in place. So which means that if we continue to go on with what is on ground now, which is not a deal, there's no deal there, then it means that your deadline is 31st of December next year. 31st of December next year. Without a deal is next year, 31st of December 2020. Without a deal. With a deal is 30th of June 2021 with a deal. You understand? Irish backstop. Backstop. Like my prime minister would say backstop. The Irish issue continues to remain as it is programmed. The Irish issue continues to remain as it is programmed. You may be able to stay in the UK without applying. For example, if you are an Irish citizen or you have indefinite leave to remain, you don't have to apply. Yes. If you have indefinite leave to remain, you are okay. If you're an Irish citizen, you are fine. You don't have to kill yourself. But I would suggest in any ramification before you take a step forward, please take consultation. Take consultation. If you don't take consultation, ironically, you will be ruining your stay in the UK. A lot of people are in the UK with children carrying European passports. As we speak, they have not thought of applying for their children. Either to apply for that kids on a British passport or to apply for settlement scheme for that child. They think kids will not be affected. Trust me, children will be affected bigly by the time we exit. Because once we exit, the whole idea of this Brexit was based on immigration issue. It was on immigration, It was based on immigration matter. It wasn't on economic factor. It was on immigration. So you need to open your eyes widely and know what is happening out there. If you don't open your eyes widely and let yourself get caught out, then you're stuck. Then you leave those children in a situation whereby it's going to be difficult for them to find their food. Anyway, the worst scenario, they will have to leave UK and go back to their European country. That's the worst scenario. If you parents don't tidy up on time and do what needs to be done for those kids, the needful must be done. And that hasn't been put in place. If you don't do the needful, then it's going to be difficult. Ignorance of law is not an excuse. You're very right. Thank you. My office number is 0208 to that person asking. 0208 309 8808. 0208 309 8808. Don't leave the kids without applying for them. You understand? So you need to understand which status do you get. That depends on when you apply. And that depends on how many years you have stayed in the UK. But to those non-European counterparts that are in the UK, all non-Europeans, let us wait. Hang in there. Hang in. Because what government will likely do in the event that we exit, you'll be given a kind of a pardon. That is what is likely to happen. You'll be given a pardon for those who have already overstayed and they are in the UK. But the government will probably be categorizing, the set of people that they are going to give it to. Possibly those who have stayed longer for 15 years. They'll be looking at that instead of 20 years so that people can go into employment and contribute. Because the Channel 4 News has already brought it up, Panorama program. They have already mentioned that these people are working already, but they are not paying the right taxes. Why don't you give them status and let them go into employment to pay the right amount of tax? And that is how government can generate revenue into the country after Brexit. Because the effect of leaving Europe we will still receive it. It's still going to show. But for it not to have a big effect on us, then we need to tighten our belt. We need to control things. And government is likely to grant pardon to those who are already in the UK on a 15 years period without status at the moment. there is every possibility that government will grant them leave to remain so that they can go into the low-skilled job. Low-skilled employment will have to be taken care of, like security, like NHS care assistants, like shop assistants, like cleaners, like window cleaner, like all those kind of small jobs. The government will have to tighten the belt to make sure that they continue to fill that gap after Brexit. And the only way to fill that gap, is by granting status to those who have overstayed in the United Kingdom. So that is the situation. So I want to encourage us to just hang in there, wait until we are able to finalize things. Don't just rush into it and go and waste money unnecessarily. The money you guys are wasting is really shedding tears. It's not making sense. Keep those money aside and wait until the government is able to finalize things and say, yes, they are ready to give pardon. Other than that, if you have child that has spent 7 years in the UK, come to my office and take advice. You can make application under a child that has lived in the UK continuously for 7 years. And if you have a child that's born in the UK and has stayed in the UK for 10 years, for God's sake, why can't you just register that child and let the child have British passport in case anything can happen tomorrow now? I am just pleading to you parents that are careless, spending money on necessary things and fail to cater for the needful. Register your children once they have spent 10 years from birth continuously in the UK. Those of you that are contacting me and asking me that I bring my child into UK, can I apply British passport? If that child came to UK one day old, and that child spent 10 years continuously in the United Kingdom, unless one of the parents is settled at the time of the child entering into the UK, that child cannot apply the same way that a child born in the UK will apply at the end of the 10th birthday. It's not the same. So you cannot apply for British passport for a child that you brought into UK a day old. It is so impossible. So I want to encourage us. Ignorance of law is not an excuse. Ignorance of law, it is not an excuse at all. Please take advice. Please take advice. If you take advice from 1, 2, 3 lawyers, then you'll be able to satisfy your conscience which of them is telling you the truth. Rather than you just coming out there and just dishing out money as if you never worked for that money. Even if you steal money, you still manage that money. Not to talk of money that you have worked hard to get from this cold weather in the United Kingdom, and you are just wasting it unnecessarily on the fake applications. And let me warn you, there's always repercussions to putting in dirty applications all the time. There's always repercussions to it. The Home Secretary will not take you serious when you are putting the right one. They will use it against you, especially when you have lied on your date of birth, on a date of entry, on a residency in the UK. You have lied previously that you came in 15 years ago. Meanwhile, you've only came in 10 years ago. But your record is the same name, date of birth, nationality is already with them. How are you going to amend? Or you have lied that you came in 1995 under the long residence 14 years rule, but it failed, it didn't go ahead. Why lying? So just try as much as possible, hang in there, and wait until we are able to finalize what is happening there. What is happening is the Brexit issue. Whether we are going to have general election. I am not a politician. I don't want to talk about them. But in the legal aspects of it, wait. And then we'll take it on from there. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to go. For anyone that wants to contact me, call my office on Monday. Book appointment if you need my service. And then come and take advice. Office number is on 0208 309 8808. I am not giving you Sakama J advice. I am giving you genuine, original advice. Don't put in application until we are true about Brexit. If you don't have any of the requirements, if you have not met any of the requirements, and you are single on a private life, hold on, wait. If you're 10 years, if you're 15 years, if you're 12 years, if you're 13 years, and you are single in the UK, no child, no wife, no husband, no partner, nothing to rely on family life, other than private life we want to use on correspondence, then wait until we are able to decide whether the government is going to issue the pardon. And once government issue the pardon, they will give conditions to it. And if you met the condition, then you go ahead and we put in your application with law and we argue your case perfectly. Before I leave you, retain right of residence. All of you under retain right of residence, be careful. If you have an application and you want to go in under retain right of residence, please take advice. Take advice. I use experience of the judges every time at the Home Office presenting officers talk to give you advice, to let you know what they want, what they are looking for. On the issue of ID card of your spouse, see me in the office. If you are one of those that are in that situation, issue of submitting an ID card and they refuse you because you can't get the ID card, come and see me. We can still go through the appeal. We have seen it. So when you have time, come, let us go through the appeal. On a retained right of residence, let us go through appeal. I will give you consultation. I will tell you what you need to put in place in accordance with the EA regulations and Home Office guidance on processing. And then we'll take it on from there. Unfortunately, I have to go, ladies and gentlemen. But I appreciate all of you and I say thank you for coming on my platform to watch me. That is only what I can give you for this Saturday. Anyone that needs further advice, contact my office. I am in the UK for now, 0208 309 8808. If you are in Nigeria and you want to come to UK, please take consultation from me before you come to UK. Don't just come and dump your family like a dumping ground in the United Kingdom. Visitor visa cannot give you anything with your family other than tourism. So 0813 456 6319 is the Nigerian number to call. Contact my secretary in Nigeria, then she will tell you what to do and then they will relate it back to me. The properties that are advertised there, they are genuine, they are real, they have C of O. If you need any of them, because they are still available, contact me. The last one I just put there, trust me, the owner is a US-based person and money is not his problem. Yes, the owner is a US-based person. Money is not his problem. The reason why he's selling that is because he has built another one and moved to another location. And that is it. And if you look at the video, everything that is inside that property is sport from the US. Everything from the United States. It was, you know, they imported it. They are spotless. So anything, if you want anybody, if you want to rent your property out in Nigeria, contact me. If you have property, but it has to be Lagos based for now. Anything you want to do in Lagos, contact me. You want to rent property out on a short letting property that you guys want to be staying instead of staying in a hotel. I have my own personal property, one of my property that I will be giving out to you guys to be renting out on your short letting with a Jeep with it and with an assistant and everything in the house. But I'm going to get the video done for you. I want them to put everything in place and then I'll bring the video out for you guys. So if you're going to Nigeria, instead of staying in a hotel, you'll be staying in that house for short letting. You will have shown me your identification, your ID card, who you are in the UK. And I will have verified your status to satisfy myself. And then you make payment of the charges of the time you want to stay in that house. And then you go and get the key from the secretary in my office. It's the same building. The secretary is upstairs in the office and the flat is downstairs for you to be doing short letting. It's a massive accommodation. You will love it. It's spotless as well. That is my own property. You know, one of mine. You know, so ladies and gentlemen, if you're not there, you can't join them. And if you can't beat them, the situation we are is to join them. So self-accommodation, yes, self-accommodation. So you will enjoy it. You will enjoy it. You know, that is my own and I have overall control. Those other properties that I want to sell, I have the direct brief from the owner or from another barrister colleague in Nigeria. You know, the US one that I put it out now, I have the direct brief from the owner directly. So I can vouch for it. And I have the C of O on that property. They have already downloaded me. And then once you guys are ready, whoever wants to buy it, we will check it with Alausa in Lagos State. Make sure the person that said he's the owner is the owner before you put money down. Trust me, you cannot get anything wrong when you are moving with me. I sell the truth, and that's why I stand out among the crowd. What are you selling? What makes you stand out is the truth. I do my things differently, and that's why it has to be like that. It is not pride. It is because of confidence from God that He has given me. I appreciate all of you, and I say thank you. Don't forget. I think the one I just put out is in mainland. It's in mainland. The one I just put out is in mainland. The other one that I put out 2 days ago was in Island. That one is a Legushi Road in Lagos Island. Yes. So I appreciate all of you. Just contact me. Any of the properties you are interested, contact me. They are real. They are not fake. They are genuine. They are real. They are real. I do things correctly. I try to make sure that I don't do anything that is not clear. And my spirit guide me as well. So don't worry. You are in a safe hand. When you deal with me, you are in a safe hand. I can guarantee you. I can vouch for you. I can vouch on that. You are in a safe hand. So I appreciate you for now. Ladies and gentlemen, call me in my office and book appointment. Ishe lawyer and Ishe wa, but I've always invested in properties. I love property. Properties is my second job, and lawyers are the one advertising properties in Nigeria, the one doing constructions, are the one into it. Mostly are lawyers, So Ishe wa keji niye. So ki Ishe ayaba. It is not ayaba. It is real. It's part of our job. I appreciate all of you. Any property you want. If you want properties in Nigeria, especially Lagos State, contact me. I'll send my guys on ground and they will find you your suit, your need, your taste. But properties are not cheap in Lagos. So when you are making an inquiry, make sure you have enough money on the inquiry. That property that you saw on that board is 90 million. The one that sent the video is 90 million. So it's not cheap, but it's a whole apartment sitting on possibly sitting on almost 2 plots of land, so it's not cheap at all. Sitting, and everything you wanted in life to make you happy, to make you comfortable in a property is in there. Trust me, everything was shipped from the United States. The upholstery, the beds, the chairs, the kitchen, the everything is from the United States. So you can't get it wrong. So if you need further information, just bleep me, and then I will answer your question. I can get hold of the owner straight away. It's not a problem. I can get hold of the owner easily as well. So that is just the situation. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. So it's all about being a lawyer and also handling properties matters in Nigeria. That's the only way. That's the way we know. We don't have other way. Work hard, make money, and give yourself rest of mind. Peace. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I think I tag one of it with a KBAC so that if any of you is on KBAC, thank you. God bless you. So I tagged the other one with KBAC so that in case any of you is on KBAC's line or my line, you can see it there. KBAC encourages entrepreneur like us. He encourages anyone working hard like me. So he loves my hard work. So KBAC doesn't mind me tagging him when I tag him on my properties of my business. He loves it, because he knows I'm working hard. I'm a genuine person working hard to make ends meet. So that's just the situation. Thank you, everybody. Nigeria number is 0813-456-6319. Join me on WhatsApp there. 0813-456-6319 on Nigeria number 0813-456-6319. Go and join my WhatsApp there. Then you'll be able to contact me easily. The Nigeria number is here. The WhatsApp is sharp. The number is sharp. Everything is working. So join me on Nigeria number if you want to join me if you are in Nigeria. 0813-456-6319. That is the Nigeria number. British number 07908-628-240 or 0208-309-8808. Inbox me on my Facebook page. You can easily reach me. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for now. Bye.